Hey y'all, my name is Ashley and today I'm going to be doing a first impressions. I'm going to be using about 6-7 new products from Iconic London. Majority are new products from them. All of them are new products to me. So if you would like to see how I got all of this, what products I liked, how I used them, my first impressions, then keep on watching. All right, I feel a little Hot Mess Express. I'm gonna add a little bit of a gloss before I just dive into these products. All right, I am now glossed. I actually don't own any lip products from Iconic London. I don't even know if they have lip products, but I did just put on the CoverGirl Yummy Gloss. I love these. I don't think they're as popular as they were last year, but I still absolutely love these glosses. Now, all I have on are my eyes. I went with something a little bit more neutral, a little bit more minimal, just because I feel like the products I got from Iconic London are more on that minimal look, but it also just kind of, the products I got focus more on the skin, so I want my look to be focused more on the skin. I also went ahead and primed my under eyes with the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Vitamin CC Sticks, just to put a little bit of brightness on my dark circles. So before I start getting into these newer products that I haven't tried from Iconic London, I'm gonna go ahead and add in some Iconic London products that I already use, that I already like, into this first impressions video. And I'm going to go ahead and prep my face with the Iconic London Prep Set. Oop, this is the wrong one. Just kidding. I have 3 different setting sprays from Iconic London, okay? This is the Prep Set Tanning Mist. So this is just a setting spray and tanning mist for your face. And since I did get a self tanner with Iconic London, I feel like it is appropriate to prep my face with a self tanner underneath the makeup. Now, with all of these Iconic London products, like everything is glow. So you gotta shake everything up before you use it, which I did. So this is the Iconic London Velvet Smooth Pore Refining Primer. Now, this is a mattifying primer, so it's going to give me like a matte finish. It's going to minimize the appearance of my pores and my texture, which when it comes to using primers like this, I kind of use that as a spot primer. So I'm not using it on my entire face. I use it on my nose, I use it on the tops of my cheekbones, anywhere where I have acne, texture, any kind of, I'm not really at the point in my life where I have fine lines, but I'm gonna put it in those type of places. So before I apply this, I'm actually going to use my gripping primer, and this is from Milk Makeup. So what I usually do is I take my Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer and I add a illuminator to it. And the illuminator I actually like to use is from Iconic London. And this is just their illuminating drops. And this is like the original shade. And this is something I would usually use, but since I got these instant sunshine bronzing drops, I'm going to mix this with my primer. And these are used to add like warmth to your complexion. This is meant to be mixed in with your foundation, your primer, or whatever. And you can also kind of use it as like, I guess you could probably use it if you want an intense bronzing moment, like with a highlighter, I guess. Now these only come in 1 shade and it claims to be universal. This is a very interesting component. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 2 squirts of my primer and 1 drop of this. Oh, that's a lot. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Oh, that is very bronze. This might be too much product. We're about to find out. Yeah, that's a lot of bronze. Like, that's a lot of bronze. I definitely think that the next time I do this, I would only use half a pump, not a full pump. Now, I did not pick up any foundation from Iconic London just because I really wanted to focus on the glowy products that I did pick up. And if I'm gonna be trying a new primer and some highlighters and some bronzing, I feel like adding a foundation when I'm trying a new primer just doesn't make a lot of sense. At least it doesn't to me. So I'm gonna be using my normal foundation, and Iconic London, their foundations are actually more of skin tints. And even though I wish I could enjoy a good skin tint, I am not a fan of my acne. And so because I'm not a fan of my my acne, I don't use a lot of skin tints because I don't have a lot of days where my skin's clear enough for me to enjoy a skin tint. Man, this is like really bronze. I feel like I belong on the Jersey Shore, maybe. I don't know, I never watched that show, but I did live in New Jersey for 2 to 3 years when I was in high school, and that was a thing. This is one of those videos where we're really gonna have to trust the process, and I hope I still like the way my makeup looks after this because I really enjoy all the products I've tried from Iconic London in the past, so I have high hopes for the products that I purchased. Okay, so now I've got my grip on my face. Now I'm going to go ahead and take the Iconic London Velvet Smooth Pore Refining Primer. So this is one of their newer products, and this, I need to like wash my hands first. But this is supposed to have a soft matte finish, and also this is going to be a primer with silicone in it. The one that I usually use is actually a silicone-free pore blurring primer, and that's like the one from Huda Beauty. And I like to just kind of pat this into the skin when I'm using a pore filling primer. I don't like to rub it in, not to mention if I start rubbing this product into the primer already laid down, it's gonna start to pill. So I gotta take my time. Okay, so my nose is definitely like blurred and almost like velvet smooth, which is kind of nice. I can't really see the pores on my nose, which I really like that. Now I'm gonna put some on my chin because I have a pretty large breakout right now and I want to see what it looks like over acne. Yeah, it's making my primer underneath pill, but I'm not really gonna blame that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start over because it's pillin'. So maybe today I think I'm gonna skip using the Hydro Grip Primer. I'm gonna come back and I'm just going to use this primer. So I'm gonna go wipe this off my face. All right, I'm gonna try this again. Okay, so now we have learned a lesson. This is also why you don't mix like a water-based primer with like a silicone-based foundation, or you're just period. You don't mix your products because then that's how you get the pillin'. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take the Iconic London primer and I'm just gonna use it all over my face. Even though this is not usually how I would prime, because I usually, like every single time I do my makeup, I like a gripping primer. Luckily it's not too hot outside, so it's not really gonna make a difference, but with this Texas heat, usually a gripping primer is a must-have in my makeup routine. So, let's see. Now this does feel really nice on the skin, and it is like completely blurring everything. So it does do exactly what it says, and it does have like that velvet, soft matte finish. It's definitely not glowy at all, which is crazy because I think Iconic London, like the whole point of the brand is to have that glow. Okay, that looks really nice, but my face kind of feels dry too. So it's another reason why I use the Hydro Grip is I do like the hydration. And I know I keep mentioning the Hydro Grip, and that's because I usually put this on before I go into the pore filling primer. So I usually use more than one primer for my makeup routine. So I'm gonna complain a little bit when I can only use one, but it's a first impression, so I need to focus on the newness. So before I get into my foundation and concealer, I wanna go ahead and add a little bit of glow to my base. And I'm gonna go back in with the Sunshine Drops because I didn't get to use it the way I would think I would use it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to just take a little bit on a palette right here, because one drop of these, I'll do like a half of one, is a lot of product, and this is an intense product, okay? We already saw that when I mixed it with a primer, how intense the bronze is with this. Okay, I'm gonna try this with a brush first. So I'm gonna take a fluffy but densely packed brush, and I'm gonna kind of use that to bronze up my face right here. And I'm gonna bring it to my temple and a bit on my forehead as well. But I'm going to use a beauty sponge if this does not work out the way I want it to. Okay, so this is like really nice and bronzy. This is definitely, I like doing it this way opposed to mixing it with the primer. it just looks nicer on the skin. And I felt like when I was doing it with the primer, it did look a little bit like chunky and just too Tin Man-like. But at least with this, it's kind of like, it's so much softer. And a little goes a long way. Like, I'm constantly like dabbing the excess off on the palette and picking up just a little bit at a time. I guess if you wanted it more intense, you would just kind of build it up or just use more in one spot. But I kind of just want a glow. It's not summer yet. This will probably be a really nice body product as well. Now this is a product I already own, but I'm gonna go ahead and take a little bit of the iconic London Illuminator drops. This is in the shade Original, and I'm gonna put a little bit on my palette, and I'm gonna use it to do a little bit of highlight under the foundation. And honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and use that same brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a more medium coverage kind of foundation day. So I'm gonna be using the KVD Good Apple Serum, and then the concealer I'm gonna be using is the Dior Backstage. I'm gonna quickly apply these, but I'm gonna do a very thin, sheared out layer opposed to a full coverage look, and I'll be right back. So while I was putting my concealer on, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take some of the leftover bronzing drops that are on my glass palette, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix the foundation in, and that's what I did. So it's kind of all on the brush. I didn't use a lot of foundation at all. Like I said earlier, I really wanna do a more, I don't wanna do a skin tint, but I wanna do like a medium coverage because I still wanna cover up my acne. So I wanna see how this looks with the bronzer in. And this is a foundation that I absolutely love, which is why I'm using it with all of these new products, because I know how this foundation performs, and I've been using this foundation for almost a year. Like I love it. So I know if anything goes wrong, it's because of the products I'm using. It's not the foundation. Okay, I really like how the bronzing drops added like a little bit of a glow to this. And this foundation already has a little bit of a skin-like finish. It's not completely matte, but adding those drops in put a really nice glow into the foundation. Like I really do like it. And I'm not really going over where I already laid down some glow, but you can see I haven't put foundation on this side of my face yet, but I did put foundation here, and it just looks really healthy. I really like it. And that's the drops. And I really like how my base is coming along. I feel, I don't want to speak too early, but I first, when I put this in with the primer, I was scared because I saw all that orange bronziness, and then I put it on my face with my primer and it looked absolutely terrifying. But now that I mix it in my foundation, I really like my first impressions when I'm applying it onto the skin. I don't know about the longevity of this product, but I really like how my skin looks. I'm looking in the mirror right here, and I feel like a bronze goddess, okay? Just absolutely, I really, really like this so far. Before I set my under eyes and set some parts of my face, I'm gonna go ahead and contour a little bit, and I'm actually gonna be using the iconic London Multi-Use Sculpting Palette. This is a product I already own, and it's a product I already know I like, and this is a cream contour palette. Now, they actually came out with a cream palette recently where it does have some of these contour shades and along with a cream blush or two. I did not pick that up because I have this palette. So I just didn't see the point when I already have a cream contour palette that I'm still using. I just didn't want to spend the money. So I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here, and I'm just going to sculpt here. And then I'm also going to take a darker shade and sculpt under my jaw because I like to make all of my features sharp. And that's just the style of makeup that I prefer. Now, this is a product that I already love that I do use. I don't use it all the time. I do it for a lot of underpainting, and then I do occasional where I do it on top of the foundation. I am gonna have to blend it out a little bit. It's nice to change it up though, because I've been using a lot of like the liquid contour, like the Charlotte Tilbury one, and then I also been using a KVD liquid contour. So it's nice to change it up because I forgot how lovely this palette is and how easily it blends and melts into the skin. So I did take this darker shade here, a little bit on my brush, and now I'm going to put it under here. I feel like if I'm going to do such a simple look on my eyes, that I'm really going to focus on the skin. So I'm going to make my skin look the best I can possibly make it, and I'm going to take the time with each step because I also enjoy the process of the contouring and the different layers of just my base face. So you might think, wow, that's a lot of effort for a minimal look. I enjoy every single step of doing my makeup. It is soothing to me. Okay. So I'm gonna quickly just bounce everything out. And I'm only doing this because if there is any stipple marks in my foundation or any of the products that I used on my face, this will bounce that away and just melt all the products in together, which is what I want. I want all of my makeup to look like a second skin. I don't want it to look like I have a mask on, even though I kind of do. And all I know is that I have somewhere to be on Saturday where I like need to look completely 100% put together. And I know for a fact that I'm going to be using these two products on Saturday because this looks so good. So I like to use setting spray in between the layers of my face. And before I set my under eyes, I'm gonna go ahead and add a layer of setting spray. And I actually have two from Iconic London that aren't the tanning kind. So I have the Prep Set Glow, and this one is in like the original shade. And then I also have a newer one that I got, which is going to be in the bronzier shade. And I'm gonna be using the bronzier one today. And I love the way that their setting sprays smell. Like it's like a fresh but fruity smell, and it's super light. I don't know how to explain the scent of these, but I love it. If Iconic London came out with a body mist that smelled like this, I'd buy it. Now, I don't have any setting powders from Iconic London, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eyes with my Givenchy Prism Libre powder. And I'm just gonna use a poof and I'm just gonna pat it all in. Holy cow, okay, so I'm actually gonna just quickly set on my forehead a little bit, but I just realized, and I'm glad that I'm not gonna be powdering my whole face today because I forgot that I also got a blush from Iconic London. Now, I don't think the blush is new, but it's gonna be new to me. They came out with liquid blushes that are more of like a tint. So this is the Iconic London Sheer Blush, and this is going to be a liquid blush. And I picked up the shade Fearless Flush. So this is gonna be one of those berry tone shades, which are my favorite. And let's see. So this is the color of the blush, and it's supposed to be just a sheer wash of color. It almost has like this gel texture. It's like thick, but not thick. Here's the shade right here. But this is going to have a really nice skin-like glow to it, and it does come in 6 different shades. Now, again, I put a little bit right here on my glass palette, and I think I'm just gonna use this blush. So this is supposed to be pretty sheer, and I am a fan of bold blushes, but I am trying to go for a more minimal makeup look as I am stacking product on product on product. But I'm trying to go for a more, it's not even natural, just a more is less kind of approach, I guess. But that is a really pretty color. That is nice. It lays on the skin really, really nice, and it's layering with the products I already have down nicely as well, which I expect because even though my foundation isn't from Iconic London, but all the other products are. So my assumption is that all the products will play well together because they're all from the same brand. Man, I am not a person who goes for a minimal look often, but I'm really, really liking every single product I've put on. I'm liking how it all looks together and just the way my face looks right now. Like, I really like it. This might turn me on to minimal makeup. I doubt it because I really do like playing with the eyes. But this is a great look for mom events, I guess is the best way to put it. Now I'm gonna go back to powdering my face. And so I like to powder the spots of my face that I know I'm gonna get oily first. So I obviously am going to do my under eyes because I enjoy the brightness I get from using a pink powder under my eyes. So I'm going to set here. And then I'm going to go ahead and switch out and use a different powder to set in other places. So actually I'm gonna use a little bit of this first, and I'm just going to put a little right here. I think it's because of my hair and I have so much hair, but if my makeup's gonna start to rub off, it starts to rub off on the sides of my face first. So I'm just gonna set a little bit here, and I'll do the same on the other side, but at the same time I'm kind of also cutting and adding definition to my cheekbones. I know that's outdated, but I like the way my face looks with the sharper angles because I have such high cheekbones. I like to add more to the features that I have and make them pop more. Plus, I don't like anyone to tell me what to do. So if I'm gonna cut here with powder, I'm gonna cut here with powder. So I'm gonna take my usual transluting, we're looting today? No. I'm gonna take my usual translucent powder, and this one's from KVD. This is the Locket in setting powder. And I'm going to go ahead and set, I'm not gonna use a brush. I'm gonna actually use that same poof, and I'm going to set in just the areas I know that I will get oily and where my makeup tends to break up first. So it's going to be right around my nose. I'm just gonna press that in, and I'll wipe away the excess in just a second. And I'm also gonna do under my nose and then around my mouth because I talk a lot, okay? I'm gonna take that brush and then I'm gonna sweep away all that extra powder. So I feel like I've waited long enough to put mascara on my eyes. So I'm actually gonna be using a mascara from Iconic London. This is also not a new product, but it's new to me, and this is the Triple Threat Mascara. So it claims to be an intense black, and it's supposed to be a volumizing mascara. So we will see about that. I am one of those people that lack volume and length, and I usually end up wearing some type of lash. So even if I put mascara on and it's a mascara that's fantastic, like my YSL Lash Clash or my Gwen Stefani, what is the Give one? The Can't Stop, Won't Stop Give mascara. Those two are my go-to mascaras, and they do, one of them does give me length, one of them does give me volume, but it's still not enough, and I always end up putting on an Ardell 420 or an Ardell 421. I will probably add a lash today either way, but I am going to go ahead and use this. So my first impressions right now is this wand is, it's boring. I like a bigger wand. I like a bushy wand, okay? So I'm gonna see if you can see how that looks. If not, I will insert some photos. But I'm not impressed. Oh, but it's black. Okay. Okay, Iconic London, I will eat my words. I actually really like that. Will I still put on a small lash? Yes. But I do have some volume. It's not as volumizing as my Lash Clash mascara, but this is still really nice. Like, even though the wand is not what I would usually go for in a mascara, I like the way my lashes look. And it is a drier formula, but I'm one of those people who take their mascaras, and I did that with this as well, where after I get the mascara, I open it, unless it's a backup drawer mascara, but I open it and then I close it. So that way that when I go to use it and try it out, it's dried up a little bit. I find that like every single mascara comes out a little too liquidy the first time. So I find just opening it beforehand a day or two and then using it really does help kind of dry it out a little bit, and then the mascara performs nicely. I'm impressed. So I'm gonna use this on my bottom lashes as well because I'm lazy and I'm here. All those flattering mascara faces. All right. I like this. Now, if it crisps off in an hour, I'll let you know. But first impressions, I like the volume it gives my lashes. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and curl my lashes because my lashes are so short. They, like, when I curl them, I don't like the way they look because it just doesn't look right. I'm fine with them being like, they have a slight curve in them naturally. I like where that is. And like I said earlier, I'm probably gonna add like a little half lash on the outside just to tie everything together because I feel like I need just a little something. All right, this is the last product that I have from Iconic London, and this is the Lit and Luminous Baked Highlighter. I'm pretty sure people were raving about this a couple weeks ago. I know I'm a little late, but you know what? Nobody tells me what to do. So this is a baked highlighter that's supposed to be able to give you a glow within, or you can build it up and then you can glow to the gods. So this is what it looks like. It is in one shade, so it claims to be a universal champagne. And I'm gonna swatch it above the blush. So this is it sheared out. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna swatch it again and I'm gonna layer it on my hand. See how blinding we can get it. So that's 2 layers. I'm gonna try one more. Okay, that's really shiny. So it does layer really nicely. And I'm not seeing it exaggerate like the lines on my hands. Now this is, so it does build up and it is beaming, okay? Now, it doesn't have chunky glitters, which I appreciate. I don't mind a chunky glitter highlighter as long as I know it's got chunky highlight in it. That way I know what I'm getting myself into. So depending on the look, depends on how I want my highlighter to be. Now, obviously we're going for a more simple look today, so I'm not gonna be doing this beaming 3 layers of highlighter on my face. But I am gonna go ahead and add just a nice soft layer on my tops of my cheekbones. I'm gonna put a little bit in my inner corner as well to kind of tie my eyes together, and we'll see how that looks. Now, to get it more of that soft glow, I'm gonna use a fluffier brush. So one of the brushes I really enjoy using a highlight with, especially if I'm going for, when I'm trying to do this glow within highlight, is I love this brush for highlighter. And this is actually a foundation brush. And this is the Love is foundation. They come out with them every year. I'm sure everyone, if you're watching this video, you know what the type of brush this is. You see them released every single year at Ulta. But I don't like to use the ones that are rounded for foundation. I think they're better off used for highlighters. I feel very glowy today, but I really like it. I'm liking it. Unfortunately, but this is gonna happen with almost every single highlighter. The highlighter has accentuated the pimple that I have growing on my cheekbone. But that really doesn't bother me. I'm used to that. But I really like the light glow my face does have. Even though almost every single product I use today is super, it's not super glowy, but every product is marketed as a glowing product, they have different levels of glow. So this highlighter is obviously a little bit more glowier than my foundation, but it balances out really nicely together. And I'm really happy with the way everything looks. Ooh, inner corner highlight. Now I'm gonna pack this on my inner corner. So I'm gonna try to get that beaming look on the inner corner of my eyes. I want that intense glow right here in the center, and then I'm going to blend it into the shadow like this. It's nice and smooth. I like that too. This is really nice highlighter. Like the shade is perfect. I can't speak for it being universal, but I can speak for it for my skin tone, and I feel like it looks really nice on me. I'm super happy with the way I look right now. I'm gonna add a lippy and I'll be right back. All right, I think I finished my full face. All right, I've got mascara. Oh, I don't got lashes. It's okay, we'll be fine right now. I went ahead and put my lips on, and I did use a liquid lip from Kylie Cosmetics. Now, I know I said I was gonna be focusing on the skin, but I just needed that little pop of pink for the springtime. So I used the shade Valentine, and then I used the lip liner from Patrick Ta. So this is in the shade She's Hard to Get. They're very similar shades. I just really prefer the Patrick Ta lip liners over the Kylie Cosmetic ones. So that's why I didn't use the matching set. And then for my eyes today, I did use a palette from Pat McGrath Labs. I did post a short recently showing what palettes I really wanted to get use out of this spring. This is one of those palettes. This is Mothership. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what number it is, but it is the Utopian Dream palette. So I did use the pink shade up here along with this nude shade along with this brown. And then, yeah, that's kind of all I used from this palette because my shimmer is the Iconic London highlighter. I want to get into my first impression thoughts of these products. I'm really happy with the way my face looks today, which is great because after I pick up my kids, I want to go run a couple errands and I don't have to take my makeup off because I love it. I love the way I look in the viewfinder and I love the way I look in the mirror right here. I am so happy with the way my skin is glowing. Unless my makeup melts off when I walk out that front door, this product right here is amazing. I'm surprised nobody's really talking about this. I know a lot of people are talking about this highlighter. This highlighter is gorgeous. Now, do I have a highlighter in my collection that's probably similar to this? Probably, because I have Amrezy, and Amrezy is a champagne shade that everybody loves. But I can see why people are loving this highlighter because it is gorgeous. I've got a soft glow to my face, but an intense glow in my inner highlight. I'm tempted to add a little bit to under my brow. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna add a little bit under my brows, but I'm gonna do it fluffy. So it's gonna be a soft glow. Just a nice subtle glow right there. I like it, I do. I like how I can use this highlighter. And I mean, you could use almost every single highlighter in different ways, but I think it's the way that this one starts off so soft and it builds easily without getting chunky is why people like this highlighter. And it's why I like the highlighter. Now, I talked about the sunshine drops. I like this mixed in with my foundation. I'm definitely gonna try it in different ways. I wanna try it on the body, but I definitely don't recommend mixing it inside of your hydrating primer. I didn't like that, but foundation, yes. This blush is really nice. I actually don't have anything like this. So a lot of my blushes are bold. I'm a big fan of bold in your face blushes. So this is something nice and new for me to start using for a more subtle blush. I like this. Now the Velvet Smooth Primer, I really like the way that my skin looked when I put it on. It did have a really nice blurring effect to the skin where it did appear, it did that thing where it does make your pores look smaller. Did it shrink them? No, but they appeared smaller and some of them appeared non-existent. So I really enjoyed this. And I like to use primers like this. Sometimes if I'm having no makeup on and I just throw mascara on, I'll put a little bit of a pore filling primer and I'll just dab it on my face so I look a little bit more put together if I'm just running out the door. I see myself using this product for sure for that. I like the way that my foundation applied on top of it, but I really don't know if I love it yet, but I like it. So this is the mascara. I like the mascara. I mean, I did forget to put lashes on. I might for once just go out without lashes. It gave me volume. It's a volumizing mascara. It applied really nicely. It layered really nicely. It did the thing that a mascara is supposed to do. So I'm happy with it. I'm gonna rotate it with my current mascaras and see how much I really do like it. But as of right now, looking in the mirror after applying it, I'm happy with it. Now I do have one final product that I haven't used yet. And I am gonna insert this. It's gonna be kind of weird because I'm telling you I haven't used it yet, but you're gonna see me using it before you hear me talking about it now. So it's weird, I'm sorry. This is a product that I'm gonna have to update you on later. This is the Iconic London Prep Set Tan. This is a brand new product. I'm actually really happy they came out with tanning products because I like my tan face mist. And I self-tan. I rarely get a spray tan. I only get spray tans for special occasions. And besides that, I like to use the B-Tan tanner. So I get it from Amazon or I get it from H-E-B. It's like $10. It's a violet base self-tanner and I love that one. And then this is in the shade Bronze. No, this is in the shade Glow. So they actually have two different shades. I wanted a bronzier tan, so I picked this one up. And I'm really excited to try it. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert some footage of me using it now. And I am now in my bathroom and I'm gonna go ahead and try out this self-tanner. So this self-tanner claims that it won't be sticky, it won't transfer, it does have an instant glow, and you leave it on for about 3 to 8 hours. So that is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be applying it on my legs. So Iconic London also has their own brush, but I already have a brush for tanning. Mine is from Isle of Paradise. I wasn't going to buy another brush when I already had one, so I'm going to be using this. I also have like mitts and stuff, but they sell a brush, so I'm going to use a brush. It smells just like that setting spray, which I mentioned earlier, that smells really nice. So I went ahead and put on this tanner, and it is slightly tacky, but not enough where it's like annoying or irritating. But it does claim not to be tacky, but maybe I should give it like 5 minutes. I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this on. I did my legs, I did my whole body. But it also mentioned it wasn't going to transfer, and I want to show you right here when I put my shirt back on. It totally transferred. This is from putting on the self tan. Again, I could have put my clothes on too soon, and I should have maybe waited. I'm going to check the instructions on Iconic London's website and see what they say. But I will update probably at the end of April what I think about this tanner. I'm definitely going to have to try it out multiple times to form an opinion, because the tanner that I usually use has a guide color. This does not. So this is not a beginner-friendly tan, but when this develops a little bit more, I'll be able to see if I like it. All right, if y'all like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what your favorite Iconic London products are, or if any of these products caught your eye. But until next time, bye y'all. Is this what like an EpiPen looks like, or...